Hello, I'm Ed Rabyd, otherwise known as the Rabyd Atheist, a former pastor turned atheist, now compassionate anti-theist. Welcome to my channel. Feel free to like or dislike the video as you see fit, so feel free to hit those buttons. Feel free to comment below, and I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel and hit your notification bell for more content as it is released. You're also free to share my videos as much as you like. The purpose of this channel is educational in regards to atheist and deconversion issues, as well as all other issues related to those issues, such as Bible theology, philosophy, politics, and whatever else seems to connect itself to atheism and deconversion. I also want to give a shout out to the Rabyd Nation, to all of you who have subscribed. Thank you very much. I appreciate all of you in the nation and all of you that want to be. Today I'm kind of speaking a little bit more off the cuff. This is kind of a rabid ramble, and the topic for me is kind of how to find your purpose as an atheist. One of the great accusations that theists make is that without an overarching God, you can't find any sense of purpose. What is your purpose? We're just going to die anyway, so what purpose does that have? I think one of the best analogies I have ever heard about this is, if I have a car right now and I drive it around, it has a purpose, okay? Even though its destiny might be to be in a scrapyard someday and scrapped 20 years ago, it doesn't change the fact that it has a purpose now. I think this idea of overarching purpose, this grand purpose, well, it's a little egotistical in my opinion. The one thing that getting away from the religious grandiose, I must have my purpose, I have to have my call. What is my call? What is my purpose? What is my destiny? All that bullshit. I think the real problem with all of that is you really end up setting some very unrealistic expectations for yourself. I'm not saying that you can't dream big, but you have to also look at your own expectations and what you're doing. But you don't require a God to have a purpose. I think actually it's counterproductive to have religion involved in purpose, because when you're overly religious, your religion defines your purpose, and it might be not any worse decision that you could possibly make than follow your religion for yourself. When I became an atheist, this was one of my big concerns, because one of the things that I suddenly realized is I didn't have an imaginary friend and a book of fables to guide me in my purpose anymore. And once I discovered that, I said, well, holy shit, Ed, you're going to have to do the work yourself. And this has been my contention for a long time, that when people make the argument for purpose, what they're really saying is, I don't have any purpose because I haven't discovered my purpose outside my faith. So therefore, everybody else must have the problem of lacking purpose. They must be like me, only without my purpose, following whatever religion it is. Yeah, it's kind of self-justifying is what it is. The truth of the matter is you can have purpose. You can have a purpose in this moment. You can have a purpose for your life, and no God is required. Now, when I left the ministry, one of the great challenges for me was finding that purpose. And I have a few observations, I guess. Number one, your purpose isn't always a destination. Sometimes it's the journey. Sometimes the journey itself is the purpose. And I think that's very true for human beings. We're always becoming more. We're always becoming different. We're always becoming less sometimes, which is good. We define our own purpose. And in truth, all the people that are theists are actually doing this. They're just using God to justify, or kind of as an excuse of why they don't really have to do much with their life. And to be honest, I now look at that and see it as totally dishonest, because it spills over into other areas. But when you're an atheist, you realize that you have to define your purpose. You have to figure it out. And that's work. It's going to be work. And I think most people are just scared spitless of the work involved in finding their own purpose. And so they reach out to God or whatever. So whatever religion they want to do. So I'm not looking for an eternal grand purpose. It spills over a lot of ways, because we we want to find the one who is going to walk with us forever our biblical God-ordained soulmate or whatever. Yeah, that goes by the wayside as an atheist too. I now think that, there's probably hundreds of women that I could be compatible with and live with and do well with. There's no necessarily the one. It's more of an assessment of myself. You have to actually kind of do the work. I watched so many kids get married because everybody told them that they were destined by God to be married, and it ends up being a shit show later. And it's because they don't really, that kind of allows you not to do the work of really testing your relationship and figuring it out. And so when I left the ministry, I certainly had a lot of problems. I was definitely involved in marital problems at the time. I had what the hell am I going to do with the rest of my life kind of thing. And that's when I realized I needed to reach out and get some help. And so very quickly, after that, about a year later, I realized the need, and I started to contact the Clergy Project, and they have helped me in a couple ways, and I want to share some of that stuff with you. Number one, don't make any life-altering decisions while you're in your angry phase, of being an atheist. I had the good fortune, I suppose, of going through my angry phase the second year, the year before the year I left the ministry. I was an angry atheist in the pulpit, and I had to keep that in check because I couldn't have it come out the pulpit. It's all I knew how to do. This was a job. I was trying to go to school at the same time. So it was kind of one of those catch-22 situations, damned if I do, damned if I don't. So I stuck with it. I can do the job. People are happy, whatever. But I was angry all the time. And that would not have been a good time to make any life-altering decisions in the first place, like changing careers or changing even a job. And so that kind of factors in when I look back at it. I think, instinctively I knew that. And so I didn't want to get involved in that. So don't do things during the year of anger. The second thing is, don't think that there is a set purpose for you. You're going to set it, and I'm going to tell you straight, it's probably better that you come up with as many alternatives to your life as you possibly can. I have a book recommendation, this one, Designing Your Life, okay? It's by Burnett and Evans, How to Build a Well-Lived, Joyful Life. They don't really go into religion. They kind of touch stone with it, but their whole thing is get a piece of paper out, write as many talents, abilities, whatever, ideas for a career, whatever it is, on a piece of paper, organize those, and then start designing what that would look like. And don't do just one, do like 3 or 4. In my case, I did 4 of them. Okay, 4 different options based on my skill set that I could start working towards. Out of that, one of those came this YouTube channel, Rabyd Atheist. And it's because it became a concept that this book teaches about prototyping. You sometimes have to try something out to make sure it fits you. Okay, and it's better to do that in a small way and then say, okay, this fits me. How do I step this up step by step by step by step? And in the case of me being an atheist advocate and somebody who's an activist to a certain extent, I realized I could do this. I realized the best thing to do was just to start a YouTube channel and start recording videos of my story. And slowly but surely this has grown. And now I'm pretty close to 370 followers, which is great. But also I'm beginning to realize that I can do this, and I'm getting better at it, slowly but surely, given, I'm crap most of the time, but I'm getting better at it. And that's what it is. I started with the prototype of just doing the channel and see what would happen. And now I'm kind of in the next stage of building the prototype and refining it and fixing it, because prototypes have flaws, and that's what you want to do. I had 3 other things that I have been doing, and one of them is starting to come to fruition. I'll have more about that probably at the end of this video because it's kind of an announcement. But I also have a couple others that I'm now just sitting down and saying, those aren't exactly incompatible with what I'm doing now. In fact, I could kind of mesh one of them right in. So you may see some different things regarding the atheist activism that I do. So keep that in mind as we go forward. That, you know, I'm prototyping, I'm testing something out, I'm trying to see if it works. And that's what you have to kind of do. Don't get stuck in this one destiny, the one mentality. When you're defining your purpose, sometimes it's the journey that defines the purpose, that as you try something out and work it through, sometimes it works. The third thing is make sure you get all the emotional support while you're making a purpose change. In my case, once again, I reached out to the Clergy Project and I got some therapy, because deconversion is something you have to detangle. Your brain is all scrambled by your indoctrination. So you want to, you know, get a secular therapist if you can find one, and kind of detangle the fact that, you know, I don't think this way, I don't think this way, I don't think this way anymore. It takes a while. And the longer you're in a religion, the longer it can take. There's a lot of good things you can do. Therapy is one of them. The other one is, you know, start, you know, challenging yourself. In my case, I do what I call an atheist meditation every morning. I try to stretch out, and while I'm stretching out, I kind of like focus my brain, I calm everything down and put everything into perspective. That's not really all that religious, but it's something that human beings have figured out that religion sometimes incorporated. But it often gets me focused on what I'm trying to do for that day. You know, take it one day at a time. You know, get the emotional support you need, do the things you need to do. You know, find a hobby. One of the biggest things I see with former Christians is, especially if they come up out of hyperactive fundamentalism, oh, you got to do everything in your whole day for God. And now you don't have God to order your day. You do realize that you get to enjoy a part of life. And part of that is sometimes getting a bloody hobby where you just do it because you enjoy it. It's okay. I'm giving you permission to go do that because it's okay. In my case, I game a little bit, but I've been thinking about taking one of my older hobbies and reviving it again and doing some more things. I enjoy lifting weights. In fact, I'm recording this about an hour after being at the gym. And they're just, you know, get involved in something you've always wanted to do. Don't be a stick in the mud. Don't be, you know, doing things that don't really matter. Just, you know, remember that it's okay now to enjoy life. And if you find one or two or three, even 3, 4 hobbies that really allow you to enjoy life and enjoy the life you have, go for it. You don't have to give all of your time, talent, and treasure to a fictitious character of ancient literature anymore. You know, you can get out of that and you can start giving some time to yourself. You know, just figure it out. You know, get the counseling you need. You know, make sure you take things one day at a time. That's kind of my advice for when you deconvert, because finding purpose is a lot of fun for me now. When I first was dealing with it a few years ago, it was hard because part of the deconversion process is how much your purpose is just, your own personal purpose is just subverted to this overarching bullshit. And once the overarching bullshit is gone, it gets really, really hard to go, oh my God, what do I do? But now that I've been into it, you know, finding my purpose, enjoying the journey, yeah, it's a lot more fun for me now. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself when you're deconverting, and finding purpose is no different. Find that. All right, just as a way of announcement, I have been pursuing another career. I've had a major breakthrough in that. I can't really go into too many of the details because I still have enemies that would like to see Ed doing his current job for the rest of his life and being miserable at it because it doesn't really fit me. It's a good job, but it just doesn't fit me. And so I've been pursuing something now, and COVID kind of put a year delay on it, but I finally had a breakthrough on it. I'll probably go into more details later when I actually start the new job and kind of give you an overview of what I'm doing. The only issue is I'm going to have to travel quite a ways away to take the job, so there might be some disruption in the Rabyd Atheist channel from time to time. If I see that coming, I may record a bunch of raw footage to make into videos later, just to have as a backup to keep some of the videos going. The one thing I think I will guarantee you is I think I'm going to continue to do the Sunday school. I found that fun. It's like we're going to have a Sunday school, and oh, surprise, an atheist is your instructor. That's kind of been fun for me, and I enjoyed doing that video and then interacting with everybody while it was playing for the premiere. Hopefully someday that'll be a live thing, and that'll be awesome when that happens. But thank you very much for participating in that. A couple days ago, I really did appreciate that for our first episode. It was actually well received, and I appreciate it. That's all I really have for today. I want to thank everybody for stopping by. You've been great. I appreciate every like, share, and subscribe. Everything you do helps the algorithm notice the channel, and that's just great for me. So keep on doing what you're doing. I really appreciate it. Just keep doing the like, share, and subscribe. It's awesome to me. You're also free to follow me on Facebook. It's a great way to get news from time to time on the channel. I haven't had a lot of news, but I'll post a few memes. I'll post a few posts for things to think about, so you're more than welcome to comment there on those too. And of course, you can support me on PayPal and Patreon. I'll leave the links in the description. I want to give a shout out to all of my Patreons. Thank you, all of you, because without you, certain things just don't happen. And it's very inspiring to me as well that people are actually willing to support me financially for the work that I do. Thank you very much. It just amazes me. And once again, this has been Ed Rabyd and the Rabyd Atheist, and hopefully I can convince you to be an atheist, a rabid atheist like myself. In the meantime, this is Ed Rabyd, also known as the Rabyd Atheist, signing off and wishing you a good day.